And we're ready.
Welcome to the VGM Vinyl for All podcast. I'm Alex G.
Let's get our,
Yeah.
I'm not an Alex. I'm an Aramis.
Hi,
I don't
Aramis.
even know what my name is anymore at this point. I'm Pico.
He's a branding exercise now, Dr. Pico.
I guess let me tune into the Twitch as well to raise those numbers, and so I can see the chat. What
What do we got
happening
this week,
with you, or like just the OBS? Okay.
We got Smash TV this week, it looks like.
Yeah, playing
Yeah.
some Smash TV.
We got a
Fucking
lot of
Minecraft.
Cassell fans this week.
I want to know what the chat thinks about Pico's video gaming skill. I had the sound off.
Yeah. I'll be real. I don't know. I haven't tuned into all of the actual game streams, but I'm watching Smash TV right now.
He handily cleared the first room.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely got two different game modes, like casual gaming and then expert gaming. Yeah.
Bitcross is the hardcore mode.
I'm definitely in casual mode.
Yeah, you got your ass beat.
This game is like an arcade game. It's just meant to fuck you up if you don't have two players.
Oh,
What the fuck was that?
I do like that we are sponsored by Castle or Cassell this week, and that Smash TV looks like the elevator scenes from Metal Gear. Like it just has that.
It must be Cassell. Sounds like Chanel.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Well, we're talking about trading, Flexin, and Baitin, I think.
TFBs, yeah.
Yep. What are there's a lot of flexing going on right now in the group,
Uh-huh.
understandably. So, somewhat a set of apparently sought after releases that no one's ever heard before. You know, but you gotta have them still.
Mm-hmm.
You got people posting them. You got people making ISOs for them like crazy, nonstop. Absolutely. Flexi discs, by the way, I don't think that's a tapped into market in the VGM community, but if it's not, I think that's something that needs to happen at some point.
I like flexi discs. I'd like to see more joke releases. I think that's something I enjoy being flexed.
But so why do you like flexi discs? Like what's the advantage? Is it just the
There's
quirkiness?
zero advantage.
No advantage. There's no advantage.
It sounds worse, and you
You
can
can put it in a
rip it up.
magazine. I
Yeah.
think that's the only reason they exist. It's because magazines could fucking give them away.
It's one less pound to carry when I'm moving houses.
Okay, that's the one advantage.
They sound like complete ass.
Mm-hmm. I never listened to the Pilot Wings flexi. Does that one sound like ass too?
I think just in the nature of like the flexi disc, why they sound bad. Not because it was
Mastered
just
for
badly
flexi.
done. Oh my god, I'm picking
wonder
the
if they're-
worst room.
I wonder if there is like a flexi engineer.
That'd be cool. Probably works for Hallmark, honestly.
That's insanely true.
I got an opening question I would like to bring someone in for. If anyone is in for answering a question.
They're in the waiting room. Yeah, if they're in the waiting room, it's fair game.
Okay. Who haven't we brought in? I'll bring in Carrie. Hey, Carrie.
Hey.
Hi. This is a question for everyone, but I'll let you answer first. What is, in your opinion, is the difference between just posting your content and flexing your content?
So I think it depends on the context. I think it comes off as more of a flex if like the embargo on something just dropped and you're trying to be the first person to show something off. As opposed to like, oh, here's like a group shot of everything that I just got this past week, right? That feels to me like more of just posting content of like, hey, I had a good mail week and I, just, pretty stoked about it. It comes off as more of a flex if it's right after an embargo drops and is like the hot new item, and also if you're posting like 37 different photos of the same release. That that also feels like more of a flex.
Is it a flex posting on main versus on your Instagram?
Well, absolutely. If it's just your Instagram, then you're just posting to people who choose to follow you specifically, right?
And I don't think there's many like 5,000 user or follower Instagram video game vinyl accounts.
No.
So you gotta got a bigger audience there.
Yeah. And presumably if you're posting a lot of pictures of vinyl, then your followers are, they're there specifically to see that, right? These are people who are subscribing to that kind of content. So
they want the flex.
Yeah, like I post a lot of photos of what I happen to be listening to on my own Facebook page, which is not public. And obviously anyone who is friends with me who doesn't want to see that is free to unfollow me. But I don't post a whole lot to the main group, mostly because it does feel more like flexing when you're posting to 5,000 randos about what you happen to have that's like the new hotness.
What do you think the actual active user count is on a group that size?
That's
like
tough.
Probably 400 or 500.
I would say probably somewhere in the realm of 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
I can imagine someone posting to main in like a desperate plea to get that like joy of posting a release to their own private page. But I think it's too late for so many people to like, there's so many pages that are plenty good at this point on Instagram, for instance, at posting releases. It's like, like what use would another Instagram page posting its vinyl be?
Instagram just has a weird stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just post photos of what I happen to be listening to on any given day. But to me, again, that's just going on like my personal page rather than on main most of the time. Like, yeah, I've definitely had like, I had a week earlier this year where like I got Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VI, and like fucking explorations all in the same week, and I'm like, yeah, I had a really fucking good mail week, and I'm gonna be excited about it. I'm gonna flex it a little bit, but at least when I did that, it felt like I at least knew what I was doing. So I don't know. I think a little flex can be had as a treat. I would almost rather see like, particularly in the main group, you've got like your Trade Tuesday thread and like your Off Topic Friday thread. I would rather see like
a Flex Friday thread.
Yeah, God. Like a Flex Friday or some other day of the week. You know what I mean? Where everyone can be like, here's what I got this week, and I'm excited about it. I'm going to show it off. Because I think, yeah, Mail Day Monday.
Gary's coming for that mod spot in Maine.
I don't think they would ever give that to me. I have already proven to be too spicy in Maine for them to ever want to give that to me.
Spicy Saturdays, shit.
But yeah, I don't know. I think particularly when so many different people tend to post their own threads about it, it has a tendency to create a feedback loop and spiral, and then suddenly you have 25 different posts and threads that are all just people flexing. I think there's probably a way to contain it.
You can imagine for some people as well, like they want to be active in the group and they don't have another like way to do that necessarily that they can think of. Yeah. Yeah. I was the same way. To revisit a previous topic, I definitely deleted some of those posts because I was like, yeah, that's kind of cringe. But it wasn't good. It was good spirited. You know.
I think newbies have more like of leniency because they are genuinely excited. But if you're like in every group and you have every single release, then it's kind of a flex.
Yeah. But then there's also a plateau above that, like posts like Frank, you know, it's like that's not, you know, I feel like there's exactly, yeah, the plateau is very, very small, but there's like a wide like a chasm between like the newbie and the like those who share the new releases for everybody.
Yeah, it's I think there's a fine line to walk, but I do think there are definitely some people who I think flex at a frequency that I personally find to be a little obnoxious.
Again, the
oh wow.
Hey, everyone likes the dopamine of a post that gets 100 likes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
That's straight good feelings in your brain.
That's for sure.
Yep. That's
I
all
do
got on
like
this topic.
I do like the idea of flexing for a treat. Like,
A little
yeah.
flex.
But when you have 5,000 people, that could clearly become overwhelming, right?
Well, when you have the same person doing it all the time, that's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
Also that.
So I feel like, yeah, if you kind of do it as a treat, then you just like do it for the ones that mean a lot to you and not just every single thing that comes down the pipeline.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I like the idea of having like a Flex It Friday or even like a Mail Day Monday of being like, hey, post everything that came in over the last week, and you know, that allows people to flex and be excited about their new acquisitions and whatnot in a way that I think is like beneficial and, you know, sort of would allow people to be mutually excited for each other rather than rather than, you know, a bunch of individual posts of, you know, 32 different photos of one single LP, you know.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think with that said, it might be worth exploring the subtopic Atrix of Baitin.
But I was muted apparently on this stream the whole time.
Oh no.
I mean, I could hear you.
I think you could hear me through Discord, but onto the stream, I have been muted.
Oh no.
Yeah, my mic was muted recording something the other week. With
So
OBS.
much loss. So much loss.
Hi everyone, it's me.
We've been talking to a ghost this entire time.
I was doing my John impersonation. Yeah, just like what Trento was saying. Fuck. That's so cool. Sorry to derail us a little bit there.
Yeah.
Very professional.
No.
So just say everything that you have already said in sequential order, and
2
we'll get
times
back.
speed.
I'm also Alex. Little flex as a treat. That will be all. Moving on. Ugh.
Much like Alex trying to bait our audiences, we have
What?
discussion about.
Oh.
I don't know.
Like, what did I do?
I don't know. Baiting our audience into thinking that you're not here, but you're
yes.
just muted on the stream. Yeah.
I'm just doing
And
some.
it was an
some
attempt
cool
at a segue.
bits. Yeah.
Legendary.
Yes.
segue.
Yes. It was a. I am the king of poor segues. So.
Shit.
Ah. Pico, you got 1 life left.
Pico's been
One
killing
life to
it.
live.
Yeah.
It was unmanageable. I think it was for 2 players, the other mode, so I had to switch it. But now I
Mhm.
feel like I'm doing
I'm
well.
terrible at these kind of games, so I enjoy watching someone be good at them.
It's weird because like the right pad, that's just directional too. That it's not one button. You have to like press X to go up and shit.
Yeah.
I
while you're
like
moving.
like games. I'm not good at like the bullet hell games, but where it's like just a bunch of people kind of like moving towards you, like Gauntlet. This reminds me a lot of Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
a bunch of people just like bombarding you. Those
I
are
love
kind
a
of
bullet
fun because
hell.
it's. I don't know.
Those are
They,
fun.
Well,
I
don't
actually
know
got
if you
back
got
into
soundtracks,
Toho this
too.
year. I used to be really good at Toho. I stopped playing, and now I'm not as good anymore.
Classic Tohos. Well, thank you for joining us, Carrie.
You got it,
Appreciate you
folks.
coming on.
Yeah.
Any last
See you
thoughts?
next time.
Okay, cool. She's gone. All right, who do we want to bring in on
Might be
this
time
week's-
to. Might be time to pull Ernie.
Oh, hell
is
yeah.
Ernie? Is that yeah,
We've got Tony Mora and Ernie both in the waiting room.
we could cause some drama if we brought them both in.
True.
do it.
Let's do it. Wait, that's Cody. We got Ernie. We got Tony Mora. I think, at least.
Hello.
And do we have a solid understanding of the waiting room in this channel here?
I never know.
I'm not entirely sure.
Ernie said he was in his car.
I have no idea what's happening.
We got Tony. Do we
Hi,
have
Tony.
Ernie? I'm sorry to the sponsors, and I'm sorry to the listeners.
All right. Ernie, message us when you want to get back in.
What are we talking about this week?
Well, we've certainly talked about flexing. I don't know if baiting has quite been discussed though.
What is baiting? What is the definition of baiting here?
I want to hear Atrex's definition. What his
My take.
what his interpretation of it is.
Okay, I'm so glad people can hear me now. As far as trade baiting goes, it would be buying a release solely to trade it off.
Okay.
Whereas you buy it, you listen to it, you're like, I don't really like this. I wouldn't really call that trade baiting, but it could be misconstrued.
Yeah, how do you determine which is which?
You just have to trust people, which is so fucking hard to do. I don't know.
What about this? Is what I always think of. and Maybe I've said this before, but labels that sell duplicates. You know.
You're
mean-
asking for
Yeah, I mean that's
Um,
almost the assumption that that's gonna happen, right?
if you have a rule where you're like, don't scalp my releases, but you sell 2 of them, it's just hypocritical.
You're gonna get bit in the ass.
If you sell 2 of them and you don't care, like, I don't care what you do with my releases, buy as many as you want. Then
Yeah.
I feel like the transparency is there. People are going to buy it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool then. But I think the notion of caring and then selling to is controversial.
Right. That burden kind of falls on the label itself at that point.
Because I think even Moonshake, they still let you buy multiples, but they stopped the variants. Like after a while, it got like doing multiple variants. Like why though?
I can't remember if with like Zelda Moonshake,
Bye,
if I was
Tony.
able to
Thank
buy
you. Sorry.
multiples or not.
What was that?
I can't remember if Zelda Moonshake was a 1 per person thing or not. I don't know if anyone
No,
else.
I don't think
remembers
he
it.
ever had a 1 per person.
Damn it,
For
I
the
fucked
last
up.
few
I fucked up
releases,
then.
they were.
I'm too young in this scene to know.
I wish
I got
from
like
at
the
least
last two.
wish I bought more.
I think after Dr. Mario, there were only 1 per person. So
Which number?
because Dr. Mario had two variants, and you could buy them both.
Well, let me tell you, if I knew what I knew now back then, I would have been both flexing and baiting with many Zelda Moonshakes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm baiting in here.
Classic.
I thought baiting was like doing a post knowing that it's gonna turn like crazy.
I think
I thought
that's
that
a
was
different
like
form of baiting.
like a bait
That's
post.
trolling, yeah.
That's just general baiting. Whereas this is trade baiting.
There is the plus. So I think labels who sell multiple variants and allow you to buy them, like I think that they probably do a cost benefit analysis, because on the one hand, you buy multiples, you can kind of like get them into hands of people that you maybe trust or like, that don't necessarily have the connection in the group. But then at the cost of that is seeing it on eBay for $500. And is it a worthwhile cost?
The other thing I would consider is if you're selling multiples in your group, if that counts as selling out your release. If you're selling 2 to 3 people, if that's equivalent to selling out your release the old-fashioned way.
I mean, if you're getting rid
I
of
think
it
you got to
all-
make your money. It
Yeah.
is a business. You do have an investment in it. So I think it's just easier to like sell out and not worry about it than like
Right.
hunt down 500 people. You know what I mean?
And like trusted
Trusted
people at that.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like a headache.
I mean, if you do allow 2 and 4 variants and you pressed 1,000 copies, you've cut down your shipping costs from 1,001
That's true too.
Whiplash
Yeah.
mailers to 600 or something like that.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, let's bring in someone from the waiting room. We accidentally brought in Cody, and that was a little funny bit. Echo.
Sorry, no one's coming in.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Hey.
Oh yeah, we also forget they're like the live stream is seconds behind, so they don't know they're getting pulled in.
That is their problem to deal with.
I knew I did it on purpose.
The hazard of the waiting room.
You ruined the time. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey,
Pretty decent.
have you ever bought a record with the explicit intention of getting rid of it for something you like better?
No, can't say I have.
You'd be hunted down.
No, I mean typically. I think. I don't mean to sound like but I try to make sure especially with like this kind of scene and stuff. I want to be sure everybody else is getting kind of what they want. It's also that also comes into play. I think you guys have talked about it on the podcast already, but just
you can say it too.
Like what was that?
Go ahead and say it yourself. That's all we want.
Oh. It's just like like having like a precedent of like knowing what you're gonna kind of buy already, because it's like it's really easy, because like it's really easy to get overwhelmed into all this stuff like right away, or like like knowing where you draw the line on like, okay, do I want to get this release or do I want to like have I played this game, right? Like
that age-old question in this scene. Have I played this? Do I know this soundtrack?
Or do I have some
sort
of connection at all? Yeah, I also don't have that expendable of an income, so I don't know if I would already go into like that kind of thought. I do think it's cool when like I think inherently it's like a nice thing when someone's like, yeah, I have this one thing, I thought I was gonna listen to it more, let's trade it, maybe you want this, you have something I want, that's totally fine. I didn't really try out trading until I was already kind of in the scene because it's like already
it feels daunting, and then you have a bunch of stuff that no one really wants because it was kind of easy to get, so it's a weird spot.
I got 3 Zelda 2s.
Yeah.
That's the classic.
A couple official releases that were $20 that most people don't know.
Yeah, and just like, yeah, right. It's like at that point, it's like, what is my hand? What do you like? Yeah, it's like a weird. It's like Old Maid or like Go Fish or something, but like your hand is just complete garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certain some of us have cringed before when we see certain trade lists that people offer. And you're like, oof, like good luck,
Crash,
but at the same
Zelda
time,
2, Bomberman Hero.
Yeah,
I'm looking for Square Jazz.
For the record, I think Bomberman Hero is one of the very best releases.
I do too. So,
but
with that
said, yes. You kind of gotta try to have some sympathy for that. Knowing that you have to figure out your way into the scene somehow.
You do.
And
yeah.
That's kind of where like the Flexin thing comes back to, is like, how much do you do? How much effort do you put forth in that, and like sacrifice looking like an idiot probably.
I can't remember who already said it, but it's like, yeah, once you're new into the scene, it's like, yeah, you kind of get a pass if you're like if you're making lists that. It's a problem when you're like, yeah. I don't want to.
Why am I getting toasters?
It's the currency in that era of
VCRs. Yes.
Every
Super
game show is giving you VCRs. What the fuck is cash?
God, I wish that was me.
It looks like there's gold in the picture though. Very misleading.
For trade VCRs.
Oh my god, I just understood that the stream is like 3 seconds behind. VCRs? What?
Did we see the new Pokemon today? As what Joey said.
Was some about Pokemon Legends, I think.
Okay.
I wasn't impressed.
That's not VGM content, so we're not talking about that.
We don't talk about video games on this podcast. Sorry you got that impression.
I don't care about the contents of the game, it's just the music.
Were you guys going to talk about the other Pokemon thing?
Was there another Pokemon?
Well,
I mean, yes, of course.
Oh, sorry, I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right.
I thought we talked about Moonshake earlier.
Oh shit! I know what you're talking.
The other Pokemon.
Oh, I mean, if Pico wants to, I think Pico has a thought or two, but I don't know if he wants to. But
I don't know if we're allowed. Honestly.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, it's a piece of shit. I don't know about the quality. Obviously, I haven't seen it. I'm not a fan of the art. I think it was crazy expensive, and I think if that's the truth of that's how much it cost, then it's the most mismanaged release ever to fucking hit. It's the craziest thing. I can't believe anybody has the audacity to sell it or support it. I'm fucking flabbergasted.
So, sponsors.
Let's not get into this.
Sponsors are saying in my ears it was the test presses were posted in Maine. So, hey.
They like pull the plug on his mic.
I thought we were talking about Johto Legends.
We are talking about Johto
exactly what we were
Legends.
talking about.
We are talking about Johto Legends.
You know,
Is
it's kind of
Vinyl Miss a
testament
secret
to it.
group, by the way?
I don't
know.
think so.
Would one consider Vinyl Miss a Christmas group?
Because they're talking about Johto Legends in there, and I don't
Because
know.
we are talking about Johto Legends.
Why are you guys laughing?
We've got a good chat.
I don't know. Jake responded, "It's not," and I don't know what that means because I don't remember the question at this point.
He's looking out for us at least.
Thank you. We love talking about Johto Legends on this podcast. Did anyone see the new Pokemon?
God, which one?
I don't know. I didn't.
Like
I think I saw it, but I'm
There's
just
new Diamond and Pearl remakes. If we're gonna, take the evasive route here.
Oh, is it the Cleaver? Is that
Yeah,
it?
it's a Cleaver lad.
I don't know. New Pokemon isn't interesting me anymore, so that's my thoughts.
For what it's worth, it's an evolution of an old Pokemon.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's just a
Scyther?
remake.
Yeah, it is a Scyther.
Oh. Is that
But his name,
spoilers?
His name's like Axe Boy or something. I mean, it's kind of obvious. He's got that same
Yeah,
dummy thick waist hip to ratio.
like a bug.
Exactly. Looking nice.
I mean, you can't beat Scyther, so like, why try?
I like
Um,
Scyther. I like bug Pokemon.
I do too. I wish they were better, but that won't stop me.
This might be the bug Pokemon representation we've been looking for.
We're very pro bugs
Yeah.
in this server.
We are.
Insects, if you will.
Some good old insects. What's everyone's favorite VGS tower?
5.
Yeah. 5's pretty good.
Can we talk
I
about
don't know if
five?
I'm in that.
Sorry.
Sorry, we're talking about Johto Legends Tower. I mean,
I like the shitpost groups,
I do
but they're
too.
like dangerously outlawish.
yeah,
They're like the Wild West. I feel like something crazy is gonna happen in an unmodded group eventually. And it's gonna be like this huge topic.
I mean, it
I think-
basically did in the initial tower, right, Cody?
It is definitely it's a step outside of the Discord discourse, if you will.
Yeah.
Which, in and of itself gets pretty wild, but yeah, those shitposting groups. Those
And the
things are crazy.
shit posting chat, like social chat in the Facebook group. I don't know if you all see that stuff.
I
No,
forget how I got added to that.
I don't know.
I don't know how.
I don't know that.
Nor how to. I don't know how to find it either. That's the thing. I don't know until someone comments in it.
Yeah, then I made it for the night because my phone can't turn that notification
there's-
off vibrate,
there's
so I'm just always
nowhere to stop it.
What
We got
are your thoughts on flexing, Cody? We didn't cover that, did we?
Oh, it's good. No, it's not.
I mean, you could think it's good. Why not?
I guess there isn't really any yeah. I mean, I don't know why I said it was whatever, but I think yeah, it's totally I mean, it's just kind of if you if you're excited, you're excited, but yeah, if you're doing this repeatedly, if you're a repeat offender and just I don't even think trying to get I don't know, it must be you already mentioned going into just for the sake of being the first person to post it, but also it's I guess it's the same as oh, I went and got a cool pen today at the store. As much as
the first person to get that cool pen.
Yeah, like, okay.
And I'm gonna sell this pen for $300.
In 3 months.
Yeah, I think the worst thing to come from flexing is I think it does help artificially inflate prices, and because it just that is where most FOMO comes from, as these dozen image posts.
Yeah, it's kind of a necessity to some extent, but also
Yeah.
people wouldn't know about the releases otherwise.
I mean, we got a hot topic going on right now. Everyone's looking for that hot item right now.
Yeah, we got the Square Baroque album, right?
Yes,
Baroque.
Square Baroque, and Square Dancing, and Cool Racers 1 and 2.
I mean, is it better if people just don't know? They're just not going to be able to get it anyway, so they just don't know.
How many releases do you
Blissfully
not know
ignorant?
about?
I'd say, yeah. That would be kind of nice. To never
Wish
know.
I could, Eternal Sunshine, just this entire group for my brain. Just get all my money back.
Oh, no. You're here forever.
Unfortunately.
I mean, we've seen so many people putting their best foot forward for those releases. I know, Eric, you're looking for them, and you're like, give me that shit.
I would love that shit. I could not deny that. I'm certainly not above the wants and the needs.
Yeah.
Do you really gotta flex something that is a run count of 100 though? Like that? That seems kind of rude, doesn't it?
So is that flex the label's fault and not even the person's fault?
I don't know. Who said Jizzcore? In the chat. Mods, delete that. I don't know. A running of 100 is so limited that it gets hard to look around for. Like, it seems like there's a couple releases like that that are in the scene that are just almost impossible to get.
Well, some are that way.
I don't think they're everybody's cup of tea, though. I see them moving hands just because I don't think like a lot of people are gonna get them and like actually be like, I did this.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, like, I'm not a fan of the Square albums.
Mm-hmm.
Square Pint is like the bane of my existence. I just don't like Irish drinking music. And I heard it and I'm like, damn, this is not for me.
Same, I gave that a
listen. It came with like a mug, like a drinking mug, and it's like, I'll drink water out of this.
I would have liked the mug probably more than the record, personally.
The mug is honestly cool as fuck, I'm not gonna lie.
That music's not for me, but I saw that jazz and was like, that sounds really cool for what this is. So it's like all kinds of genres there.
Yeah, I mean that's when you like really see the FOMO. It's like, do you even know what's on the release, and like, are you even slightly interested in it?
And there's so much of that in this hobby of just, I just want that because it's kind of there. Because have any of us heard these albums?
Well, that's why you're safer from that if you just never play your records. And that's
a good way to go about it, huh?
That's the trick. Is like, if you don't listen to it,
then you never care if they're scratch or sound bad.
Yeah, exactly. You could get a maimed record in the mail and you wouldn't care because
Ozeki's a god to you if you don't open your record.
You trade it to someone and you find out like you fucked them over.
Well, even then, the jacket quality's kind of bad.
How do you tell someone that though? You send them something and then they're like, there's a giant fucking scratch on it.
Sorry, I've literally never put this on.
I never opened this.
I don't even know what this sounds like.
Oops, I did that.
Like new. You did that, Alex?
Yeah, but I gave it away. I didn't.
Oh yeah, that's
I didn't even listen to it beforehand, and then there was a big bubble on the side A.
Oh.
That caused a skip.
A skip and a jump.
Yep.
Bumpy road.
So Cody,
Go ahead.
no, you.
Oh, I was gonna say, is our sponsor around?
Let's get our Cody. Do you have any thoughts to leave on, or?
You know, I don't, but
Okay.
I appreciate you asking.
All right, love you. Bye. Let's bring in our sponsor.
Yes, please.
Give him 3 seconds to know. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Sponsor
we need
boy.
those sponsor bucks.
We afford Trenta this
Hold on.
luxury of the 3 second.
Where is he?
I saw a little ping in his name.
Trenta.
Wait. This episode has been brought to you by Cassell. You want to smell like a real man, patriot, true American hero? The new Cassell Floor Fragrance, available now. Order now and call 1-800-420-6969. Please note, Cassell is only accepting payments of Ocarina of Time and Super Metroid records.
I gotta get on that. I want to smell so good.
I like how this podcast isn't marketable to anybody outside of the video game final
No.
scene.
Not even remotely.
Will we get there someday? No, absolutely not. Can we try? I don't know.
Essentially got a captive audience of roughly 20 people.
Right. Well, my thing says 24,
torture.
so,
Roughly.
we'll do okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Numbers going nuts.
If we have a lot of episodes and people are like, I'm going to check out the early episodes, they're just going to be like, what the fuck is this? So shout outs to you future listeners if you're listening. I'm sorry for whatever it is we're doing.
Yeah.
It's really cool what we're doing in the future, though. That's awesome.
This will be the reference archive in like 4 years when the vinyl bubble is popped and everyone is selling their records for $20.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck was this? Like SQ pint? Like, do I need this? And then they'll realize they don't, and someone will be $20 poorer for it.
But will they keep the mug?
That's an interesting topic to bring up, though. The bubble.
Let's talk
Does
about
it
the bubble.
exist? Does it exist because we're a video game attached to video games, and it has such a life cycle?
All vinyl markets are going insane right now.
Vinyl stonks are up.
Every
But
genre.
on top of that, like, is it just a collector's item because it's Nintendo and like Nintendo fanboys will always exist? Because like Vaporwave Bubble burst, but it's not like video games.
Right. Well, I think there's a difference there.
Vaporwave Bubble burst. I think because most people lost interest in it as like a.
Well, there was a lot of shitty labels putting out like really bad shit,
right.
and
which
then,
could totally happen to us.
It could, but I'd say there's so many games out there that people will find nostalgia in, whereas Vaporwave was like, there's a couple of good artists, I want their releases, and then a lot of new artists came out, and we're just kind of nothing.
It feeds off a very different point of creation, whereas like video games are, at this point, sort of like an eternal thing in a lot of our lives, whereas Vaporwave is like very easily written off as a passing fad. Like no matter how you feel about it, whether you like it or not, like it's hard not to like recognize it as something that's probably going to go away like very soon,
But do you think that the video game vinyl is going to get more and more niche because a lot of the heavy hitters are out there right now?
I hope so.
People will redo them. I think older labels will just quit, and then newer labels will come, and there'll be a revolving cycle of labels redoing the same shit over and over and over again.
Yeah, there will always be people ready to buy something with the word Zelda in it.
That much is true.
We're about to get one of our first duplicates, or of one of the moonshakes. Actually, a lot of moonshakes have been done.
Yeah.
So yeah, Metroid, Donkey Kong Country,
Johto Legends.
Yeah.
Good old Moonshake Johto. No, I mean, I think it's worth considering, like, it's hard to say how long it's going to be until that, fucking, that video game music vinyl you bought for $300 is only going to be sold for like $20 on Discogs or something, or
Yeah.
eBay if it's locked on Discogs. I don't think it has much longevity, but
I have a big question in this regard, and that's the student loan freeze is going to end in America next January.
Start getting your ISOs ready.
Yeah.
Because
I think that'll affect my purchasing at least.
I just have good old fashioned debt. None of that student loan stuff.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned, damn, I can buy 4 variants of this album. This is awesome. And then you do it like 3 weeks in a row and you're just like, fuck. I've got to pull out the credit card for this one.
I gotta stop doing that, huh?
Do you all think? Actually, maybe I should bring someone else in.
Bring him
for
in.
This. I gotta. Who should I bring in?
I don't know. Bring him in.
Tony changed changed his avatar, so maybe he's. Hi, Tony.
Am I here?
You're here.
Yes. Here. Sorry, you. There was this background noise when we pulled you in earlier, and I think we just tossed you out. But I saw you changed your avatar, so I thought you might be here now.
I'm here, I think.
Hi.
You are.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot of echoing, I guess, because I had the Twitch open.
Right. That'll do you in.
But
what's up, fellas?
Not much.
We're here again.
We'll pose this to the group, but Tony, you can answer first. Do you think? So we were talking about VGM vinyl bubble, and I was thinking, if Nintendo officially jumped into the scene and just called the demand for boot labels, but they did a really poor job of their official releases. Do you think that could burst a VGM vinyl bubble? Something like where boot. Yeah. If
almost inevitable that they would. I would say.
I think there's always going to be something about these about the boot stuff, because man, what we were talking about last week, I just think some of the boot stuff just it just oozes more like this handmade quality, more love about it. And from what I know about the legit labels, sometimes our hands are tied when it comes to like the art and who does the art and like how they're restricted to like doing certain things. So I don't know. I just don't think I'm not saying all of it's gonna be like that, but I know from some things that I know about, it's like it's just their hands are tied. I think but I think that affects people like they're buying, because we're talking about like some people buy stuff because they like, oh, I really like the art, or some people lately they've been some of the album releases are remixed, and it's just like, well, I don't want that. I want the official. I want the real music, and not some remix stuff. So I think there's always going to be a niche where if they release the soundtrack and it's the same 1-to-1, I want that. That's what I want.
There's an incomparable charm that boots have. I feel like I was talking to someone about that today. It's like there's certain releases. Yeah, there's certain releases I don't like, but I will fucking buy them every time, because I even in clothing communities or what have you, like I think bootlegs are so cool, and they achieve something that's not achievable by like something that's officially licensed.
The hands aren't tied, as Tony would say.
Exactly.
I think you even see when I forget which album it was, someone, I think Drew Wise did a cover for something, I forget what it was, and even said how his hands were tied.
Persona 5.
Did he do that?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if it was
at least
that one.
Persona 5R, I think.
It was another one, and people were saying stuff about it, and he was just like, well, that's what I had to work with. It's like, again, it's out of their hands at some point. It's like the publisher or the game maker, they have the say on what gets on there. So, as much as the publisher wants to make that album, they're just gonna take whatever they can get. Mm-hmm. So, again, you don't have that issue with booters. As a booter, you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna do exactly what I want. No one's gonna tell me what to do.
I think it's well-known gossip by now, but I think so. There is a Mega Man X boot out there, and I think it kind of got a.
What?
Well, yeah, you have it.
What?
You Atrax have it. Tony did the art for it. Everyone knows about it. But like it doesn't actually have official artwork to it because I think the rumor was that it came out. It was in the process when Laced announced their Mega Man X collection, and like Mega Man X collection, for better or worse, it was the official realm. And like if Nintendo started doing that, like would boot labels even want to do Nintendo projects anymore?
Because
the difference between those two releases is one was hardware sources, and the other one was like the sources the label or the publisher had gave them. And I actually think I prefer the hardware sources, how they sound compared to the actual
really
one.
Cool.
Right.
I think in general though, boot labels would probably do different things.
What I want to see more of is like what Ryan did with that when he got that Metroid resynthesized. I love analog synth stuff, and if they could remake everything analog synth, I'll buy that all day long. I just love that.
Absolutely.
So,
got like 4 analog synths in the other room. We're making albums.
My entire desk in front of me is like 8 analog synths.
Oh wow!
Oh my lord! Awesome. Yeah, I recently
watch out for Air Picos.
There's the name.
I recently just
the shoes of the future. Air Picos.
I recently just got a little micro brute just to mess around with. I can't play music.
Yeah, that's a Arturia.
Yeah, Arturia.
Yeah, just to mess around with. I wish I.
You don't need to know how to play music. They got a good sequencer.
Yep.
That's the cool thing about them. It's like, it's the best.
Yeah, I just get it so I could take like a little break during the day and just literally hit keys and just be like, oh, that sounds cool.
I mean, if you've got an arpeggiator, you really don't even have to play the music. You just hit a key.
I don't know what that is.
That's hearsay.
So getting back to the topic, when you're talking about, let's just say Nintendo were to get into it, it would clean house. I mean, people would be throwing money at whoever gets that license to do it.
Right, it'd be on
buying like 50 at a time.
Yeah, it'd be on clubnintendo.com, and pre-orders would be on eBay like before.
Oh, man. Yeah. I wish maybe back in the day when they made actually cool stuff, when they made cool stuff. But whoever gets that, I mean, they're going to clean house. So
I guess part of the question is like, is it going to continue? Like, is people interested in it going to continue? Not just like are releases gonna start becoming officially licensed, but at what point does everyone lose interest because it's a fad or whatever? And does that point come?
How long can you be in the scene?
Exactly.
Will it be like 10-year-old people? I've been here since 2009. It's like
yeah, it's not gonna last more than who knows.
Even I said last week, I'm pretty much at the end of the stuff that I've wanted.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff that comes out, I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Do I need it? No. And sometimes in the groups, in the secret groups, really cool stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't need that right now. I could wait. I'll wait it out, and I'll just trade. I'll just trade for stuff. So there's no reason to keep on just buying every release and every drop. That FOMO.
But what do you trade with if you aren't buying the releases you don't want?
You aren't
Well,
buying
if you work
triplicates
on
and everything.
albums,
Oh yeah. You do have that advantage of getting artists' copies.
This is our
and you're talking
official.
about flexing. It's like you don't see me flexing my Daytona TPs today. I didn't do that.
Can you flex it? I would like to see.
Hey, real
that,
quick, could you
fair.
post that to Vane? I want to see that.
Also,
I
yeah,
would never
everyone
do
feel
that.
free to ISO.
Flexing
Tony
is
right
so
now.
cool. So go ahead and let me see
Tony
that
doesn't have a lot of
open that box
messages.
today, and I saw the TPs. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. No one wants to see this, into the vault.
Tony has very few messages on his Discord, I would guess. So feel free to send your ISOs there.
I do like your high scores, Pico.
Ick. That's for the fans.
Tony, what are your thoughts on the bubble bursting? Or possible bursting?
I just think we're just going to get to a point where it's. I think looking at the main group, how many people there are, it's just like any other sort of collectible thing. It levels off. People sort of settle into like what they like, and publishers are going to still keep making stuff. Mm-hmm. That's not going to go away. I mean, it's you see that there's money to be made, and that's what it's all about for them.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep making stuff. I mean,
as long as it sells, people will make it.
Yeah, it all depends. I guess the kind of question is like when do we think that lull is going to come?
But when you're
obviously
saying
vinyl hasn't been this booming for years.
Oh yeah, I remember
right
reading
now
that...
it's like fucking crazy how much it's selling.
Yeah,
I think it's like the most popular physical format, I would guess.
Yes,
yeah, like without a doubt.
I remember reading.
I would also say BGM vinyl excels in price quicker than like literally any collectible I've ever seen.
Yes. Yeah, and you all gotta thank iMapeit for it. Get on your hands and knees, everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not worthy.
They really did bring all of this to light. They really brought it to the forefront, and everyone just riding their coattails. They started jumping on the bandwagon. So all the Mondos and all the other places were just like, whoa, we got to get into that.
We got something here.
Yeah,
I'm saying
sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to say something nice about Mondo. I was not going to say something nice about Mondo.
I wasn't either. So you go first.
Okay.
Maybe we're out of time before I got to say what I have to say.
I was just gonna say Mondo still seems like the type that's just like hopping the bandwagon for video game vinyl, and they've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now.
Right. Yeah.
It's very cool that they don't do the random variants anymore.
I mean, name some of the other places. Look at what is it? Limited Run. They do vinyl now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that other place that makes
The Yeti, Fangamer.
I am 8-bit.
Was there another company that makes cartridges or something like retro stuff, and they started making vinyl also?
Indie Box used to they did the Toe Jam and Earl Kickstarter.
Did I am 8-bit do those, or was that someone else?
Enjoy the Tunes or Enjoy the Ride Records also kind of enjoy the video game.
Enjoy the ride. That's it.
Yeah, and then even like what's the other one that started up?
Space Lab.
Channel 3. They are doing their albums.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're hoping to have Channel 3 as a guest, so don't say anything too mean.
Caleb, if you're listening, sorry. Moving on.
Friend of the show who doesn't listen to the show.
I'm just naming off.
The official labels.
Yeah, it's a wave.
There's a lot of places that are they're doing it not only because they want to see stuff get done, but there's money to be made. So, you know, you're gonna see more. It's not going away. So it's gonna be. I mean, look at who is it? Data Disc that really sort of solely focus on Sega.
Yeah.
They got that
they sort of have their
deal.
niche. Yeah.
Where have they
sort of have
been?
their thing going on. Yeah, they've been MIA, man.
I kind of miss them.
Yeah.
I mean, plant times is just insane right now.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people just don't like taking mad pre-orders, but I thought they used to take like pre-orders.
Any company that has the self-respect and respect of their customers to not do a pre-order, I'm happy with. I don't need to dump any more hundreds of dollars into releases I'm not going to see for a year.
Yeah, and just like the constant like additional shipping fee. Like I probably have at least 2 records worth of money in like ship to shore pre-orders right now. Like in just shipping costs, I could buy like 2 extra records with that.
Right.
We've hit the hour mark.
We have, and thank you, Tony.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
Maybe I'll post a pic in discussion.
Ooh.
Yeah. Trash City exclusive.
I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
Gee.
That's Flexin and Baitin.
We love to see
Oh,
it.
that's beautiful.
Is that a
All
wall of Goros?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, Tony?
I was gonna say something about Ernie, but I can't.
No, go ahead.
Lay into him.
Buy his t-shirts. I just bought one. I didn't know he made stuff. I bought it.
Yeah, that screen printed Mario shirt looks so good.
Cool artist.
That's really cool.
There's a lot of cool artists actually in the server.
Check out Ernie.
Lots of cool people.
Do we have
out there.
an art section in the?
Yes.
We just opened an art channel, and I think we're gonna change it to like an Inktober thing, like coming up October 1st, where each day will be a different theme name.
Oh, Cody, that's beautiful.
I love.
I was thinking about doing like Blender every day for October. Do Blendtober. Try to do 3D modeling each day if I can.
So
it'd be cool if there's an art section. You know, we could do.
Feel free to post.
We'll have a fun.
Gonna have fun October.
I'm mentoring Cody right now with Blender.
Oh.
Oh, is that was that made in Blender, the thing Cody just made?
I don't know. What do you show?
It doesn't look that 3D, but
no,
the
bodies looked a little 3D, and so I wasn't sure if that was just like shading or.
It's still very, very good.
Blender's the future, baby.
Trying to
keep posting your art, guys. I'm selling them as NFTs. Someone has.
No NFTs.
Yeah, someone's got to make something out of this.
We haven't done just a random question in a while. Like we used to bring in people from the waiting room to ask something.
What was it? Cake or pie? Was it last?
I don't know. Just it. Do we want to bring someone in to close out? Just
someone is quick and they got a good question. Lay it on us right now.
Can be related. Doesn't have to be related.
All right. I mean, a regular. Hit us with a question.
The man himself.
Quick.
Okay. A question is: Would you rather have controllers for hands or systems for hands?
Systems. They're like hammers.
How would you play your system without controller hands?
No questions. Only answers.
Your feet are the opposite one.
Oh,
definitely
controller.
Feet. Yeah.
Definitely.
I want Jake back in here.
Hey, Jake.
The random question.
Okay, there's Jake. Jake, quick, ask a question.
Hey guys. Okay. All right. Baby. Okay. Would you rather speak in riddles or not speak at all?
Riddles only.
Speaking riddles.
Good